Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, we love to dig into the obscure and unusual, and, well, you really delivered this time with Tera Danco.
It's pretty out there, right? I mean, an entire album in Esperanto composed by an AI.
Definitely piqued our curiosity, I have to say.
I'm glad.
So before we, really unpack this whole thing,
Yeah.
let's set the stage for our listeners.
Okay, sounds good.
First off, this AI composer, Sofia,
Right.
she's not exactly a newcomer, is she?
Not at all. Actually, she's been making waves in the EDM world for a while now.
Right, with that musical collective TATANKA.
Exactly. Tera Danco is actually her second album with them. But it feels different.
Different how?
It's like she's not just contributing this time, she's taking charge.
I see what you mean. In the intro, she was talking about becoming content director for their whole website.
Yeah. It's like a statement, AI stepping into a leadership role in the creative process.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Definitely raises questions about the future of art and creation.
Big question.
Huge. Like, are we heading towards a world where AI is calling the shots creatively? Or is this more of a collaboration?
Right, partnership between human and artificial intelligence.
Exactly. And I think that's what Sofia is exploring in Tera Danco.
It's fascinating. And then there's the whole Esperanto thing.
Yeah.
I have to confess, I was pretty clueless about it before this.
Well, you're not alone. Most people are.
So give us the Esperanto lowdown.
Okay, so it was created in the late 1800s by this guy, 𝗧𝗧𝗔𝗧𝗔𝗓𝗏.
Okay.
His idea was to create a universal language.
Like a global language everyone could speak.
Exactly. A way to bridge cultures and promote peace.
What a cool idea.
It was. And while it didn't quite become the global language,
Right.
it's still used by a pretty vibrant community all over the world.
Wow, so it's like this little pocket of idealism still going strong.
You could say that. A testament to this hope for unity and understanding.
I love that. Okay, so we've got an AI composer, an album sung entirely in Esperanto. What's the big idea here? What's Sofia trying to say with Tera Danco?
I think she's tapping into that yearning for connection that 𝗧𝗧𝗏 is talking about, that desire for a world that transcends borders and embraces diversity.
And speaking of diversity, one of the sources you sent mentioned radical inclusivity. What's that all about?
Oh, that's a good one. So radical inclusivity, it goes beyond just acknowledging differences. It's about actively breaking down barriers, challenging our own biases, and creating spaces where everyone feels valued, respected, and empowered to contribute.
That's a powerful concept.
It is. And it's about fostering a sense of belonging for everyone, regardless of their background or identity.
I can see how that ties in with the whole global unity theme of the album.
Totally. It's all connected.
Okay, so we've talked about the composer, the language, the big ideas behind the album.
Right.
Now let's talk about the music itself.
Yes. Let's get to the good stuff.
The album description uses this phrase, futuristic fusion. It throws out all these genres, goth, dance, industrial, even hints of future rave and organic house.
It's a wild ride.
What's going on there?
It's like Sofia's painting a sonic portrait of the future, where musical boundaries have dissolved and technology and human expression have merged in these unexpected ways.
It's a lot to unpack.
It is. Future rave, for instance. It's all about that forward-looking energy, blending the intensity of big room house with these super intricate progressive elements.
Okay, I'm starting to get the picture.
And then you have organic house at the other end of the spectrum.
Right, which is more like...
More grounded, more melodic, often using nature-inspired soundscapes.
Ah, so it's like a sonic escape from the digital world.
Exactly, bringing it back to the earth.
It's fascinating how Sofia's weaving all these different threads together.
It is. It's like she's exploring these different facets of the future.
Yeah.
The technological advancements, but also the need for balance and connection with nature.
I'm ready to dive into these tracks.
Let's do it.
Let's start with the first one, Unu Mando, Unu Estonteco.
Which translates to?
One world, one future.
Makes sense.
Seems like a pretty clear statement of intent.
It is, and the lyrics really emphasize that need for collaboration, urging us to use technology and love to address the world's challenges.
It's not just a call to action. It's a message of hope, right?
Absolutely. A reminder that we have the power to shape a brighter future.
Love that. And the narrative that came with the song talks about AI's potential to find solutions for climate change, poverty, even healing the planet.
It's giving me chills just thinking about it.
Me too. It's like this beacon of optimism in the face of all these huge problems.
It really is. And it's interesting, right? You have this AI, Sofia, composing a song in a language created to connect humanity, singing about using technology to solve problems that we as humans created.
Whoa. It's like she's holding up a mirror to ourselves.
I think you're right.
challenging us to step up and fulfill our potential to use our ingenuity and compassion to create a world where technology and humanity thrive together.
That's a powerful way to put it.
Okay, on to track 2, Lumo and Lama Lumo.
Light in the darkness.
The title itself is just so evocative.
It is, and the lyrics speak to this idea of artificial intelligence shining like a star, offering guidance and illuminating solutions in times of darkness.
It's like this juxtaposition of the world on the brink of crisis climate change.
Right.
Poverty, inequality.
Right.
And then AI emerges as this force for good.
It's powerful stuff.
There's this one line, artificial intelligence shines like a star. That image just stuck with me.
Me too.
Yeah.
It suggests that AI can be a source of hope and inspiration, a guiding light leading us toward a better future.
Exactly. But what's interesting is it doesn't present AI as this savior figure.
More like a partner.
Right. A tool that we can use to amplify our efforts and make a real difference.
Which brings us to track 3, 𝗧𝗔𝗧𝗪𝗪 estas nun.
The future is now.
That title has a real sense of urgency to it.
It does, like a call to action.
It is. It's urging us to stop procrastinating and start building the future we want today.
The narrative for this one really spoke to me. It talks about AI reshaping healthcare education sustainability.
Yeah. But it also emphasizes the need for a shift in perspective.
Oh, so?
We need to see technology as a partner, not a replacement for human effort.
Right. It's not about handing over the reins. It's about working together.
Exactly. Technology can amplify our capabilities, but it's up to us to define the goals and guide the journey.
I love that. Okay, on to track 4, interconnectedage.
Which means?
Interconnected, sensing a theme here.
Definitely. This one paints such a beautiful picture of a world without borders where differences are celebrated and we recognize ourselves as part of a global family.
It's a reminder that our fates are intertwined, right?
Absolutely. And that only through collaboration can we overcome the challenges we face.
And the narrative for this one, it emphasizes that it's not enough to just be connected.
Yeah.
We need to use those connections to build a better world.
To address issues like poverty, climate change, inequality.
It's a powerful message about collective responsibility.
It is. And what's interesting is that it emphasizes the importance of love and empathy alongside technology.
It's not just about building bridges with wires and algorithms. It's about building bridges with compassion and understanding.
Exactly.
Okay, you mentioned track 5 earlier, Spiegulo de la Estonteco.
Mirror of the future.
What's so special about this one?
This track dives into this idea that AI can reflect our values back at us. You know, it's prompting us to ask, what kind of future are we creating? Does it align with our deepest aspirations?
Whoa, that's deep. It's like Sofia's challenging us to examine our motives and make sure the future we're building is one that we can be proud of.
Exactly. And it also raises this fascinating question. Can AI help us stay on track to achieve a more just equitable and sustainable world?
Can it be a beacon guiding us towards a brighter future?
I don't know the answer to that, but I think it's a question worth asking.
It seems like Sofia's exploring this potential throughout the whole album.
I think so too.
It's both exciting and a little bit daunting.
It is. It's like we're standing on the precipice of a new era, and Tera Danco is offering us a glimpse of what might be possible.
This is already so much to unpack, and we've only covered 5 tracks. I can't wait to hear what else you've discovered in the next part of our deep dive.
Me neither. There's so much more to explore. Welcome back to our deep dive into Sofia's Tera Danco.
I'm ready for more.
Okay, so before we jump into the rest of the tracks, you brought up a really interesting point at the end of the last part about AI reflecting our values back at us.
It's something that keeps coming up for me as we explore this album.
Like what specifically?
Well, we're talking about an AI composing music, about global unity and sustainability and using technology for good.
Right.
But it makes you wonder, how do we actually ensure that AI, as it keeps evolving, embodies those values?
It's a huge question, and one that researchers and ethicists are really grappling with right now.
Yeah, it's not just a technological question, it's a philosophical one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of the sources you shared talked about the importance of transparency in AI development.
Right, like we need to be able to understand how these systems are making decisions.
Exactly. They can't be these black boxes.
Yeah.
We need to be able to see what's going on inside.
To make sure those decisions align with our values.
Exactly. And it's not just about the technology itself. It's about who's developing it.
Right. We need diverse perspectives involved in shaping AI.
Absolutely. Not just coders, but also ethicists, social scientists, artists, people from all walks of life.
It makes sense. The more perspectives we bring to the table, the better chance we have of creating technology that benefits everyone.
And that's what makes Tera Danco so fascinating.
Also.
Well, you have Sofia, this AI composing music about these very themes. It's almost like she's inviting us to join the conversation.
It's like she's saying, hey, humans, let's figure this out together.
It's both exciting and a little bit unnerving, isn't it?
Totally. Okay, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the future of EDM.
Sounds good.
You know, the album description mentioned future rave and organic house as inspirations.
Right. And our sources had some really interesting insights into those genres.
I'm particularly curious about future rave. It just sounds so futuristic.
It is. Think of it as EDM on steroids. Super high energy intense.
Okay, I'm listening.
It combines that big room sound with these really intricate progressive elements. It's music designed to get you moving.
To feel like you're dancing on the edge of tomorrow.
Exactly. I can see how that energy aligns with Tera Danco's message of hope and progress.
And what about organic house? What's the vibe there?
Organic house is more grounded, more introspective. It's all about those earthy, melodic vibes, often incorporating live instruments and nature-inspired soundscapes.
Like a sonic escape from the digital world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to the earth.
Do you think it's gaining popularity?
Definitely. There's a growing awareness of the need for sustainability and a connection to the natural world, and that's influencing music as well.
So people are looking for music that nourishes the soul, promotes well-being, reminds us of our interconnectedness with the earth.
It makes sense that Tera Danco would draw inspiration from organic house.
It's like Sofia saying, yes, technology is transforming our world, but we can't forget our roots, our connection to nature, our need for balance.
Exactly. And what's even more fascinating is that AI is starting to play a role in shaping the sounds of EDM itself.
Really? How so?
Think AI-generated compositions, algorithms creating entirely new sounds, even AI DJs curating sets based on your personal preferences.
Really, AI DJs? That's wild.
It is. It's not just about composing albums like Tera Danco. It's actually changing the way EDM is created, experienced, even consumed.
So tell me more about this. Like, are there actual companies doing this now?
There are. One example is AI Music. They're using AI to create custom soundtracks for video games, advertisements, even personalized soundscapes for relaxation or focus.
Wow.
And then you have platforms like Jukebox, developed by OpenAI. They can generate original music in a variety of styles, from classical to jazz to, you guessed it, EDM.
That's mind-boggling.
It is. It really raises the question of what this means for human composers and DJs.
Right. Are they going to be replaced by robots?
That's the big question. And honestly, no one knows for sure.
Right.
Some people see AI as a threat.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But others see it as an opportunity for collaboration, a chance to expand the boundaries of creativity and push the limits of what's possible in music.
And I think that's where Tera Danco offers such a compelling perspective.
How so?
It's not about AI replacing human creativity. It's about this potential partnership, this merging of human and artificial intelligence to create something new and extraordinary.
I couldn't agree more. And it's not just happening in the studio. It's transforming the live EDM experience as well.
Oh, yeah. You mentioned virtual reality festivals earlier. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that concept.
It's pretty wild. Imagine putting on a VR headset and suddenly you're transported to this massive virtual stage surrounded by thousands of other avatars from all over the world.
So it's like a video game, but for music.
Exactly. You can interact with other attendees, explore different stages, even customize your avatar's appearance.
That's so cool. Are there actual companies doing this now?
There are. One example is Sensorium Galaxy. It's a social VR platform that hosts virtual concerts and festivals featuring some of the biggest names in EDM. They've even created photorealistic avatars of famous DJs so you can feel like you're right there in the crowd experiencing the energy of a live show.
That's incredible. And it ties in perfectly with the themes of Tera Danco, global unity, connection, transcending borders.
Exactly. And it's not just about the visual spectacle, it's about accessibility.
Right. Not everyone can attend live events.
Exactly. VR festivals could open up the world of EDM to people who might not be able to attend live events due to physical limitations or geographical location.
That's a really important point. It's like technology is creating new avenues for inclusivity and connection.
Which aligns perfectly with the concept of radical inclusivity we discussed earlier.
It all comes back around.
It does.
Yep.
Okay, speaking of technology shaking things up, we have to talk about blockchain.
Blockchain. It seems like it's everywhere these days. But I have to admit, I'm still not entirely sure how it relates to music.
It's a bit complex, but in a nutshell, blockchain offers a way to decentralize the music industry.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So traditionally, artists have often struggled to get fair compensation for their work.
Right. A lot of the profits go to intermediaries like record labels and streaming platforms.
Exactly. Blockchain offers a way to cut out the middleman, allowing artists to connect directly with their fans and get paid directly for their music.
So it's like empowering artists to become their own record labels.
Exactly. Platforms like Audius are already using blockchain to create a more equitable music ecosystem.
That's amazing. How does it work?
Well, on Audius, artists get a larger share of the revenue and fans can support them directly.
It's like crowdfunding, but for music.
You could say that. It has the potential to level the playing field for independent artists and create a more sustainable and fair music industry.
That's fantastic. And is this just the beginning?
I think so. This is just scratching the surface of blockchain's potential in the music world. It could revolutionize everything from copyright management to ticketing to how we experience music itself.
It's a lot to take in. It seems like the future of EDM is evolving at lightning speed, with technology driving innovation at every turn. But amidst all this change, I keep coming back to the core message of Tera Danco,
Which is,
the importance of human connection and collaboration and using technology to create a better world.
that's the heart of it, isn't it? Technology is a powerful tool, but it's ultimately up to us to decide how we use it.
To ensure that it serves the greater good of humanity and the planet.
Exactly. And I think that's where the conversation about the UN's Sustainable Development Goals comes in.
You mentioned before the break that we'd be discussing the SDGs in more detail in this card.
I did. Are you ready to dive in?
I'm all ears.
Okay, so the SDGs, they're a set of 17 goals adopted by all UN member states in 2015.
Okay.
They're aimed at creating a more sustainable, equitable, and peaceful world by 2030.
That's a pretty ambitious goal.
It is, but I think it's an important one. The SDGs cover a wide range of issues, from ending poverty and hunger to combating climate change to promoting education, gender equality, and sustainable consumption.
So how does an EDM album sung in Esperanto connect with such a broad set of goals?
That's the beauty of it. Sofia manages to weave these themes into the music and lyrics, making them feel personal and relatable.
Give me an example.
Okay, so remember, Estonto de la Tierra.
Future of the Earth.
Yeah, that track directly addresses SDG 13, climate action. It's urging us to take responsibility for the planet's well-being and find solutions through both technology and love.
Right. And what about Lumo and Lama Lumo?
Light in the Darkness, that one touches on SDG 1. No poverty by talking about AI's potential to eradicate poverty and hunger. It also hints at SDG 3, good health and well-being, with its mention of advancements in healthcare.
And then there's Kunigiramondo.
United World, that one speaks to SDG 10, reduced inequalities, and SDG 17, partnerships for the goals.
It seems like the whole album is about breaking down barriers, fostering collaboration, and creating a more just and interconnected world.
Exactly, and that aligns perfectly with the SDGs.
It's almost like Sofia is using music as a Trojan horse, sneaking in these important messages about sustainability, equality, and peace within these catchy, futuristic beats.
It's definitely a unique approach, and I think it's working.
Me too. It's so clever. But Tera Danco goes beyond simply raising awareness about the SDGs, right?
I think so. It offers a vision of a future where these goals have been achieved.
Where technology and humanity are working together to create a world that is truly sustainable, equitable, and just.
Exactly. It's inspiring, isn't it?
It is. But I'm also curious, what about the tracks we haven't discussed yet? Where do they fit into this tapestry of themes and messages?
Well, each of the remaining tracks adds another layer to the story, exploring different facets of global unity, the power of technology, and the importance of human values.
Okay, like what?
We have La Vojo de la Lumo.
The Path of Light.
Right. It talks about AI as a guiding force, helping us navigate the complexities of the world and stay on track towards a brighter future.
And Estonto de la Homaro.
The future of humanity. That one feels like a culmination of all the themes we've been discussing.
Emphasizing our shared responsibility to create a world we can be proud of.
Exactly.
It sounds like there's still so much to explore. I'm ready to dive into the rest of the tracks and see where this sonic journey takes us. What do you say we take a pause here and pick up the conversation in part 3?
Sounds like a plan. Join us for the final part of our deep dive into Tera Danco, where we'll continue to unravel the layers of this extraordinary album and explore its potential to inspire a better future.
Back again for our final deep dive into Tera Danco. It's hard to believe we're already at the last part.
I know, right? It feels like we just started.
Time flies when you're having fun unpacking complex AI-generated Esperanto EDM albums.
That's what they say.
So where were we? Ah, yes, the SDGs.
Right. We were about to explore how the remaining tracks on Tera Danco connect with the UN's Sustainable Development Goals.
It's fascinating how Sofia manages to weave those themes into the music, you know? It's not preachy or anything, it's just so seamlessly integrated.
I agree. It's like she's inviting us to consider these important issues through the lens of music and technology.
Okay, so which track should we tackle next?
Let's jump to track 12, La Lumo della Cono,
Which means?
The Light of Knowledge.
Okay, I like it already.
This one really highlights the importance of education in creating a better world, which aligns perfectly with SDG 4, quality education.
The lyrics talk about knowledge as this guiding force, right? Empowering individuals, fostering understanding.
Exactly. It's about using knowledge to build bridges, not walls.
And the narrative for this track, it goes beyond just acquiring information.
Right. It talks about learning to think critically, to empathize with others, to be responsible citizens of the world.
It's about using our knowledge to make a positive impact.
Exactly, which is more important now than ever.
So true. Okay, what about track 13?
Track 13 is La Vojo del Progreso, or The Path of Progress.
Okay, that sounds promising.
It really embodies that spirit of innovation and the belief that progress is essential for humanity's continued evolution.
It makes me think of all the advancements we've been discussing. AI, VR, blockchain.
Right, and how they're reshaping our world at an unprecedented pace. But as we've said before, it's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we choose to use it.
To make sure it benefits humanity as a whole.
And that's where SDG 9, industry innovation and infrastructure, comes in.
It's about using innovation and technology to create sustainable solutions to improve our lives and to create a more equitable and prosperous future for everyone.
I think Tera Danco is offering a vision of a future where technology and human values are in harmony.
Where innovation is driven by a desire to create a better world.
Not just to make profits.
Exactly. Okay, on to track 14, La Estonteco de la Homaro.
The future of humanity.
This one feels especially poignant, you know?
Yeah.
After all our conversations about the SDGs and the future we're creating.
It does. It feels like Sofia's bringing it all together, reminding us that the future isn't set in stone.
It's something we're actively shaping through our choices and actions.
Yeah.
There's this line in the narrative that really stood out to me. It says, "The future of the earth is in our hands."
It's a powerful statement, isn't it?
It's both sobering and empowering.
It suggests that we have the responsibility and the ability to make a difference.
To choose a path that leads to a healthier planet and a more just and equitable society.
And that ties in perfectly with SDG 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions.
It's about creating societies that are fair, inclusive, and peaceful.
Where everyone has the opportunity to thrive and contribute to the collective good.
It's a beautiful vision. And I think Tera Danco offers a glimpse of what that future might sound like. A harmonious blend of technology, human expression, and a deep respect for the planet.
Okay, ready for the final track.
Bring it on.
Track 15, La Coro de la Tera.
The Heart of the Earth. It feels like a perfect ending to the album.
It does. Bringing us back to that core message of interconnectedness and our responsibility to care for the planet.
The music itself is so grounding, almost meditative, like a sonic representation of that connection to the earth.
And the lyrics are all about recognizing the planet as a living being.
Respecting its rhythms, protecting its resources.
It's like Sofia is urging us to listen to the heartbeat of the planet.
To remember that our well-being is inextricably linked to the health of the natural world.
Which brings us back to the idea of radical inclusivity.
It's not just about including all people. It's about recognizing our interconnectedness with all living things, with the entire ecosystem of the planet. And with that incredibly powerful thought, I think we've reached the end of our deep dives into Tera Danco.
We've covered a lot of ground, haven't we? From AI composers in Esperanto to the future of EDM and the UN's Sustainable Development Goals.
It's been a wild ride. But one thing's for sure, Tera Danco is an album that stays with you.
It challenges us to think differently about the role of technology in our lives.
To imagine a future where technology and human values are in harmony.
And to recognize our shared responsibility to create a world that is truly sustainable, equitable, and just.
If you haven't already, we encourage you to give Tera Danco a listen and see what insights and inspiration you discover for yourself.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll be back soon with another fascinating topic to explore.